It's the most wonderful time of the year. With blood and guts everywhere, heads on steel pikes telling you, please God help me! It's the most wonderful time of the year. Oh, hi there! Welcome back to Comic Universe, the scariest channel for everything you need in your life. Actually, that's a goddamn lie. Hi everybody, welcome back to Comic Universe. And, yeah, so this is our 31-day horror movie challenge. You guys have probably noticed the two movies C-Dubs has put out with that are recently new, Tales of Halloween and As Above, So Below. But I decided, you know what, we need to do some respecting the classics here, and maybe do some underrated slash schlocky kind of deal. I wouldn't call this movie a classic, mind you, but it's definitely a fun movie, at least in my opinion. And that movie is called Rawhead Rex. Now, Rawhead Rex is based off a novel by Clive Barker, who did the screenplay for this movie, and came out a year before Hellraiser. Now, this is a movie that Clive Barker completely disowns, because in the original novel, first off, one of the major reasons why he disowns himself from the movie is because Rawhead in the book is a lot different from what we see in the movie. You see, in the movie, Rawhead looks like someone who was a reject from Gwar. And in the book, how do I describe Rawhead's design? Imagine Gollum from Lord of the Rings with a penis for a head and razor-sharp and shark teeth. Yeah, just get that picture in your head. You got it? Okay, good. In fact, I found images of what Rawhead was supposed to look like, according to Clive Barker, and I was considering putting it on here, but then I thought, nah, YouTube would not be cool with a penis head monster, so never mind. Y'all can go find it for yourselves. Anyway, so for those who have not seen the movie Rawhead Rex, Rawhead is about this this author who's taken his family to the Irish countryside in order to give him inspiration for his latest novel involving Irish pagan traditions. Along the way, some farmers who have inexplicably, or actually not inexplicably, accidentally unleashed a pagan Celtic god who the ancients called Rawhead. And Rawhead goes on a mindless killing spree throughout the whole movie. That's the movie for you guys. That is 100% the movie. It doesn't go into major detail. This movie is a typical creature feature with a really weird-looking monster. In fact, in the movie, he looks really fucking goofy. I mean, really goofy looking. But, you know, this movie's a guilty pleasure of mine because it's pretty dumb. This movie is pretty dumb, but like fun dumb. Because guys, I grew up on movies like these where it's just monster goes out and kills people. It's nothing deep. There is some weird shit that makes a lot more sense in the book, like the priest getting peed on. Yeah, that's a scene that happens in here. No, really, there is a scene where a priest who goes crazy and worships Rawhead gets peed on by him, like a blessing. Yeah, that's a thing in this movie. Just wanted to forewarn you guys. Also, it's interesting to note that this movie is, in the book, it really plays up on the whole feminine versus phallic symbols. And it makes a lot more sense in the book than it does in the movie. Because, again, thanks to Rawhead's design, yeah, you can see why it had to be a woman who defeated him. So yeah. But yeah, it doesn't make sense with the design here. But Rawhead is an interesting little gore fest of a movie. There's some neat little kills here and there. Rawhead also brings the pain. Like I said, he looks like a reject from the band Gwar. But having said that, though, it is a nice little gore fest of a film. Like, I love the scene where the couple's running through the woods, and Rawhead reaches out and grabs someone, and the woman runs back, and all she has left is her boyfriend's hand, and it freaks her out. Yeah. The best I could say is that they were trying to copy... I think they were trying to take inspiration from a lot of creature feature stuff, but Clive Barker wanted to go in a different direction. This movie suffered from a lot from that, in that this movie had too many cooks in the kitchen. Kind of like another film that came out this year that suffered from too many cooks in the kitchen of what they wanted to do with it, and it suffered of being a weird horror comedy thing, and it didn't really hit the mark. Looking at you, The Predator. Looking at you. The reason why I give this one a pass is because it sticks to what it is. It pretty much, yeah, we know we're not a good movie, so let's just be gory and goofy. Which is fine, but I think it takes itself too seriously. Especially in some cases, and other times it feels like it wants to be, it knows what it is. So, yeah. But it's fun. It's like a little more fun in that regard. Like, it's a little more fun of just how wacky this can be, of, like, Clive Barker gone wrong. I don't know, it's really hard to explain. Because for me, this is a really guilty pleasure movie. This is a really guilty pleasure movie. There's some nice kills here and there, but we all know that Clive Barker, if you've seen friggin' Hellraiser, then you know this guy can go really gory. But, yeah, this movie's like Diet Barker, in that there's gore in here, but not to the levels where you would have it. There's not really to the levels where you would have it. The characters are pretty bland, but this movie does get a pass of having one of the... Actually, no, this was the 80s, so kids weren't safe in these movies. No, really, like, there's a scene where a kid gets eaten, like, horribly eaten. They don't... So, yeah, remember, if you were a kid in an 80s horror movie, that didn't guarantee that you were going to live. Just saying. But this movie is just tons of fun for me, because it just goes by your typical creature feature schlock. There's nothing really wrong with that. If you are a die-hard Clive Barker fan and you prefer the book, I can understand why you don't like this. You wouldn't like this creation. I haven't even read the full book. I just know the notes here and there and why Clive Barker doesn't really care for this, care for this movie. So, and again, like, he wrote the screenplay, but unfortunately, I guess it was either budget or the director, who he also worked on with another one of his novel adaptations, Transmogrification, didn't like the direction he wanted to go and wanted to do something else. So, yeah, you can... But, however, even if you don't like this movie, because I know this is a cult film through and through, you can thank this movie for having it be that this was the movie that broke Clive Barker and have him go, fuck it, I'll direct my own movie, and hence how we got Hellraiser and the Hellraiser franchise from then on. But I think we can all agree that this movie was a hell of a lot better than the last few Hellraiser sequels. Yeah, no, really, I think we can all agree that that was the case. So, you guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think, if you've seen Rawhead Rex, what did you guys think of the movie? If you've read the book, what do you still like the movie, or do you prefer the book? And yeah, just comment below, let us know here on Comic Universe. And yeah, if you're new here, hit that bell for new notifications, hit the subscribe button, and share with your friends and family, and we'll keep giving you good content. But yeah, anyway, so once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and see you once again in the universe.